Welcome back to the show, everyone. Here to give us a United Laguna Woods Mutual update, I welcome Anthony Liberatore to the show. Hello, Anthony.
Hello, thank you. My name is a mouthful, isn't it?
I love it. You were just telling me that it's Italian with the E on the end.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How long have you been putting this slide deck together? This is something that is...
I started last month, and as one of my volunteer jobs as a director for United was the Architectural Control and Standards Committee.
Okay.
So I thought we could help some people get through this process and make it pleasant for them. So
because it should be, right?
Yes, and it can be.
Yeah.
It can be, because we want them to help us help them be successful. And
Sure.
this is what this is all about.
Because otherwise it could be a stressful situation if you
especially
get
if
off
you
course a little bit.
You get my age when you think you know everything, you can get in a lot of trouble. So we're here to help you get through it.
Okay.
You know?
Well, let's start off by updating and personalizing your manor.
Yeah, okay. So, and we should start with the village website. Now, my wife uses an iPhone. I can't stand that because it's too small.
Okay.
So on my computer, I go on to lagunawoodsvillage.com. And when you get on there, you go over, up on the top, on the right-hand side, you'll see calendars, and next to calendars is something called documents. And so you want to click on that, and then select governance documents. Now, the computer wants to know who you are. I want to make sure you're not Joe Blow from Kokomo. So if you don't have an account, you put in an ID number, and your password. And then when you click on that, you want to go down to governing documents. And under documents, you'll see choose Laguna Woods Village Mutual. Now, look at that tree up in the right-hand corner when you get down there. That's the easy way. Or you can read United, but that tree symbolizes life. That's what you want to click on, and it'll open up. And when you open up the rules, when you open up there, you're going to see, go down there until you see the central location called operating rules. There's a bunch of yellow banners there. You see operating rules, go all the way over to the right, and you'll see like a plus sign. Click on that. And that opens up a whole menu of things. And the main items on that are, first, 44 architectural control standards. Those standards tell you about what you have to do about if you want to put a walkway in, if you want to put something over your balcony, anything that you would want to do to enhance your manor, or all the instructions that you click on that, open it up, and it tells you everything you need to know. It also has other information on there. It has information about, there's a track map. So, when you're having your coffee, click on it, and then you can see where you're at on the track map. And it has also information about if you want to bring in a pod or a dumpster, the rules for having the dumpster, and all that, what's required. There's also, you can click on there, and there's a whole list of fees for what you want to do. And everything you need to know, or any questions, can be answered. But if you just take your time and scroll through that, there's all kinds of different things that would answer any questions you have.
Now, Anthony, if they had something outside of the 44 established standards, wasn't listed there, they have an idea about what they want to do, who do they contact?
What they do is come to resident services, and you'll see a kiosk there, and one of our concierges will help you manipulate that if you're not familiar with it. You come in, and then they'll direct you to one of the resident services people who will help you do that. Answer questions that you have that may not be on the standards. But you'll find most of what people want to do, you'll find on those standards. And this is also an attempt if you trying to help you help yourself, so that when you come into resident services to get approval for your alteration, if you want, that you're all set to go. No stress, and it'll be a very good positive experience for you, and you'll come out feeling like a pro.
Right, yeah. And you'll go into it, residents will go into it with clarity, right? Instead
Yes,
of trying to guess along the way.
Exactly. Well, if you take your time and go through the 44 standards and all the other things we offer you on the website, and pay attention to that and studied it, when you come to resident services, you'll be prepared, and our concierge people there will be able to help you walk through it, because you'll have everything they need, it'll be approved, and you'll be ready to go. But one thing, from my experience here, if you have a contractor, if it's your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law, get a contract, and you'll stay friends.
Yes. That is very important.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It really, because you don't know what you're going to, you think you know what you're going to do until you start doing it, and other things pop up. So if you have it written down, you'll stay friends.
Right. And also, too, you have an idea about what you want, and then you bring somebody in, they have an idea about your idea that you want, and it's probably two conflicting, interlocking information that they're like, well, I thought you meant this, and I thought you meant that, and
You're so right. It happens all the time.
It could just be,
Yeah, you're so right. So
a point of friction.
Right, and so, if you're thinking about it, use this prop that we give you to help you arrange that, and you can get all those things resolved over a cup of coffee or a glass of Merlot, whatever,
Merlot might be safer.
Yeah. And vino veritatem, in wine there's truth.
Exactly. All right, so we like the standards that are listed out there and the helpful tools. What about policies?
Well, first of all, just believe me, go to that website and you'll get a good start, a good feel for what you're going to get involved in.
Okay.
And then
All right.
What else are we going to do?
Well, we're going to talk about policies and procedures.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's the same on that website. It gives you policies and procedures and what's expected of you. And of course, the most important thing there is you're going to want to know the list of fees that's on there also. And it'll tell you if you're going to bring a pod in or one of those dumpsters, what the rules are, how much time you have to leave it on the street, what else is involved, and that's so important, because now I see a lot of people bringing these pods in, putting them outside there. So to keep the attractiveness of our housing stock and our appeal to the public, the co-op has these sort of rules and parameters to keep the value of our property up, keep it appealing looking. And so we have these, we have to address these issues that pop up from time to time. And also, when a manor is unoccupied, because we have snowbirds, we also, to keep the value of our houses up, we have, United wants to be able to go into these unoccupied manors to look for mold,
Right.
some kind of intrusion of mice or rats or whatever, make sure there's no water leaks, and it would affect not only the housing stock, but your neighbors.
Exactly.
So we protect you and your manor value by telling people, look, if you're going to be away for 6 or 7 months, we might want to go in and inspect that place.
Right. Exactly. So why does this all matter?
Well, first of all, I hate to overstress this, if you take your time and do some planning, go through our website there, it's going to take a whole lot of stress out of your life. And you'll feel like you're on top of the world when you get done. And it also, when you come to resident services with your plans, it'll avoid delays and other issues that may crop up, because you're there, you're ready, you've paid attention, you're organized, and you come there, and it's going to be so much less aggravating and no stress. And
reduce the delays, right?
oh yeah, do delays, and you'll be within the standards and acceptable, and it's going to be, it'll be a pleasant experience and not a nightmare, you know.
Yeah.
So take your time, ask questions, you know, and it's going to be, we're trying to make it as painless and as stressless as possible.
Sure, of course. So what's necessary in taking the first steps, Anthony?
Well, first of all, again, push the website. Go on the website with your significant other. And my wife doesn't like that word, significant other. It's my wife. And go through it and talk and plan. And that's the most important thing, to do that. All the questions you might have, fees, these little pods that you put in front of your house, how to do a walkway, how to do a canopy over your balcony, any kind of question you may want to have to what you want to do. If you need a permit. Now, we used to use the word permit here, but we were confusing people, because when you're doing something that involves electricity or water, you're going to need a Laguna Woods Village permit. But we use the word for you're doing something that doesn't involve that. We use the word consent.
Okay.
So you may you'll get a consent from us, and then we'll tell you, well, you have to go to Laguna Woods Village to get a permit. So that's where you want to get started. And then you review the standards, and then there's something really coming up that's really good. There's a really good visual thing coming up, and that's called the Manor Alterations Town Hall for members, contractors, and realtors. And again, contractors, understand your contract. Understand what you agree to and what the contractor stipulates he or she has agreed to.
And Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, but do I recall that there's a list of approved contractors to work in the village?
There is a list. I'm not up on that, but there is a list, and we will. And if you have any questions about that, again, you can find that out from our resident services.
Okay.
You know, because the important thing is understanding the contract too, what they're responsible for and what you're responsible for. And a lot of people like to use the brother-in-law or the sister-in-law, so you know, make sure you have some kind of an agreement to protect yourself, because it's your home, it's your investment.
Yes, which can go sideways very quickly, because I've seen that happen.
Yeah, it does.
Unfortunately.
And again, what we're trying to do is make this as stressless as possible. And so we want that to happen, because when it comes down to getting things done, it's be you and the contractor, you know.
And the faster you can get in, the faster you can get out if you do everything by the rules, right?
Yeah, well, it is. We designed this to help you get through the process painless.
Right.
You know, that's what we're trying to do. And again, you should, if you've got time, to attend this town hall that we're having in Clubhouse 5 on June 19th, Friday.
Okay.
And it goes from 9 to 12. And if you are not familiar with Clubhouse 5, it's 24262 Punto Alto. And Clubhouse. And the topic is a faster mutual consent process. And everything will be there. The contractors, you can talk, you can ask questions if you're not sure of yourself.
Great place to meet contractors.
It really is.
Right.
And the whole process, when you start, will get you really going if you take your time and go through our standards on that website. And you can't go wrong if you go on there where to go. But also, if you're feeling a little, want to know more, come to this town hall
That's a
in
great
Clubhouse
first
5.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people will really walk away with a better understanding about how to proceed. Again, you know, probably meeting some contractors, because that's one of the hardest parts also. You know, following the rules is one thing, having that step-by-step guide, but having the right contractor and the right help on those projects is really going to make it a lot more pleasant.
It is, exactly, because once you get a permit, then you have to go, you know, if you have your contractor and you trust him and it's good, or her, whatever, then you can go forward. But that is the thing. We get you down to the point where it's you and your contractor.
Right, right. Fantastic. Well, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. And folks, just as a recap, that Manor Alteration Town Hall is Friday, June 19th, 9 a.m. to noon, Clubhouse 5. So if you're interested in any type of upgrades, attend that town hall. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much.
You're watching
Take
This
care.
Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.